Hello, friends, and welcome to Coach Cut's Corner. Streaming right from Michigan's capital city, this podcast is dedicated to helping you better understand the who, the what, and the why of mental performance, personal growth, and Lansing Stars baseball. Coach Cut's Corner, brought to you by iWatch.
In collaboration with Lansing Community College.
And now here's your host, Stephen Cutter.
Welcome to the show. Today we are talking about music and sports. I have Daedalian and Jereny with me in the WLNZ studios. Daedalian and Jereny are the hubs of these studios, and I knew they would bring some knowledge about the music industry to this podcast. Let's roll.
I've never been called a hub. Well, it is a good name.
First day. I believe two things bring people together in large numbers, large masses: music and sports. Today we're going to discuss their power and nostalgia. So hang on. Music has a healing power, and sports, I believe, has the same power. They're deeply rooted in our culture with chants, anthems, songs, and even soundtracks, providing emotional connections to teams worldwide. Music is the universal language and connects people from different walks of life. You can't go to any games, meets, or tournaments without hearing at least one popular song that has been ingrained into the world of sports. Here's a quick note for you guys. Over 400 years ago, Shakespeare said, "Music can raise out the written troubles of the brain."
Wow.
What do you think about that?
I agree. It's certain music I listen to when I'm sad and it makes me feel better.
Jeremy and I, we've actually talked about that, where we'll be talking about songs that just feeling kind of down. Throw one on and you're like, all right, I'm getting better.
Or they talk about what you're going through, so it makes you feel like I'm not alone.
Nope. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. You can connect definitely with the artist when they are dealing with the same troubles. So yeah, we agree with Mr. Shakespeare.
Elton John was quoted as saying that music has healing power. He says he believes that it can take people out of themselves, maybe even if it's only for a few minutes or a few hours. And I definitely agree with that. And just like you guys said, we're going to kind of dive into some of this stuff here, but music is extremely powerful, and sports is the same way. When you think about how people watch sports or are fanatical about a certain team, a program, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter what they're dealing with that day or at that moment. They're in the game, the contest, and they're removed from everything else that's been happening to them. In Jock Jams, Volume 1, I don't know if you guys remember this.
Volume 1?
Was released in 1995.
Wow.
I do remember that.
I remember Jock Jams, yeah.
The first track was Michael Buffer's "Let's Get Ready to Rumble." The number 3 track on that was "Whoop, There It Is." Chicago Bulls, 1990s. Serious Alan Parsons Project. Have you guys heard the
iRobot? Is that what it is?
The Bulls intro music.
Yeah. I never knew the name of it, though.
That's something that was played over and over, and you can find it on YouTube. Another music piece that I thought I'd bring in, as you guys start thinking more and more about the music, was Whitney Houston's 1991 Star Spangled Banner during the Super Bowl, which also was during the Gulf War.
Oh. Did not know that.
It's a phenomenal version of the Star Spangled Banner. Yeah.
And it was pre-recorded, I believe.
It was?
So there's a lot of flack because the people believe that she was lip syncing, but she actually did all sing it, but they were worried about the crowd noise and everything else in there, so they did pre-record a large piece of it.
She sang along with it, right?
She did.
Yeah.
She did. Yep. And I believe a song can take you back. It's been said that when they take you back, it's somewhat of a music evoked memory, and it's pretty spontaneous. Songs take people back all the time, and it's not something, when you hear a song, you didn't have to put any thought into it. It just brings you back to a certain time, certain place, whatever it might be, and it's really just a non-voluntary effect. It's a song, and it brings you back. And songs, I started thinking about like songs that take me back, and I think, going a little bit old school, but Naughty by Nature, OPP, and Dave Matthews' Crash is a couple songs that anytime I hear those take me back into a certain place at a certain time. How about you guys? Do you have songs that take you back?
It's a gang of songs that take me back. No Limit, Make 'Em Say
Okay.
That's a good one. Reminds me of my middle school times of running through Detroit. And Juvenile, Back That Thing Up. Remind me of my best time at a school dance.
Love that. And Daedalian, you were on radio for a long time.
Yeah. I've got tons and tons. In fact, I could almost
Yeah.
give you a memory for almost any song, really. But I will tell you that the one that really always hits me every single time is Steve Miller's "Fly Like an Eagle." And that is what I can remember as the very first song ever, like a musical memory, if you will. And it was when I was in kindergarten. I had broken my right wrist. And so I ended up coming home early for the day.
Right.
And I remember hearing that song on the radio. And I was kind of, even though I broke my wrist, I was happy to be off of school. I didn't have to go to school. And so I was in the living room pretending to fly like an eagle, listening to Steve Miller's "Fly Like an Eagle." So that is my very first musical memory.
One of my best ones, though, and this is because I'm a huge Pistons fan, was that Final Countdown. To this day, whenever I hear it, I feel like I wanted to hear Chauncey, Billups, and like it just gives me so much joy and like chills of like, because it was so good. And just hearing that intro of Mason in the Morning, just broadcasting it, like it was, Final Countdown is a good one.
Part of the reason I was talking about that is because I use that for the mental performance side.
Oh, wow.
Because music is a cueing thing, and it can take you back very involuntarily. It can take you back to a certain time, certain place. And so music can be used for the mental performance side, and I use that in some different ways, but it's really just taking you back to a certain spot. So if you're getting ready to compete in an event or something, and something's important to you, a certain song or whatever, that can take you back to when you were in a great spot. Because there's certain songs that'll take you back to when times weren't as great.
Oh, certainly.
Yes,
Yeah. There's some sad memories, of
Yes.
course.
So if you can use the music cueing to take you back to a great spot, that puts you in the right frame of mind.
Right.
You remember when it was great, and then your performance actually improves. And so I've used that with teams in certain events, before certain events. Sometimes it's not necessarily music that they would know, but it's more or less certain beats, certain words, closing your eyes,
Right.
dark rooms, you got a team around you, and you're just focused in on what you can do to help your team and be great. So music is extremely powerful in sports. We circle back to Jock Jams. I mean, I think you guys probably remember that. I think and I'm not a historian on Jock Jams, but I think they put out somewhere around 4 or 5, of their soundtracks. And man, those things got played in every high school gym and everywhere. I mean, it was just on a complete shuffle, and Jock Jams was a big thing. And I think they probably ended somewhere around the late 90s, early 2000s. I don't think they're still doing those.
I think what took over was Now. Was it called Now or something
Yes.
like that? Yep.
Yep.
Last one was in '99, hit number 5.
Wow.
They also did the All-Star version in 2001.
Okay. That probably wasn't as good. So, some common stadium anthems, as I was thinking, because being a coach, you're constantly hearing music in stadiums, whether it's baseball, football, basketball. I mean, you're hearing it everywhere. And some really common ones. How about Queen, We Will Rock You?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Survivor, Eye of the Tiger.
Definitely.
Yep, classic.
And you obviously, I think, beyond sports, you think of Rocky when you hear Eye of the Tiger, right?
And that one brings back a lot of high school memories for me. So,
Positive.
yeah.
Okay.
It was a good time in my life.
All right.
I was a kid just watching TV. That's where mommy just sitting down and watching Rocky, and then I'm just punching in my front room.
How about AC/DC Thunderstruck?
That's actually the very first one I think of. I think most of the time when it comes to sports, I remember a friend of mine talking about being on a football team, and that was their hype up song as they would be heading out to the field.
It's a great hype up song.
Yeah.
Speaking of football, Metallica, Inner Sandman.
That's a good one.
If our listeners don't know and you guys don't know, you should look up Virginia Tech's football team and Inner Sandman at Virginia Tech for home games. They will play that, and the stadium is rocking right as the football team comes in. It's incredible.
I'm going to check that out.
And then finally, one of the last ones that I could think of was Journey's Don't Stop Believing.
Of
Oh,
course.
yeah. That's a
an
classic.
all-around classic.
So in 2006, the Detroit Tigers went to the ALCS, and they were playing the Oakland Athletics at that point, and there was 41,000 people in the stadium and at Comerica Park, and in about the 7th or 8th inning, they played Don't Stop Believing, and the whole crowd was singing it on a cold October night. It was incredible, and that's the stuff that I'm talking about with music that brings people together. It's the masses, music and sports. You think about all the people that come together for whatever types of music or whatever types of team. It just brings tons and tons of people in. Do you guys have any other songs that you think go with the sports? What do you got?
I think Happy. That when that came out, it changed. You heard it everywhere. Yeah,
true.
Pharrell's Happy was played a lot. I heard a lot in the stadiums when they want to do the dance cam and stuff like that. Yeah.
And we, all these songs, it's not like they were, they came out a long time ago, but they're still, today. And that's what I was talking about, how like some of these popular songs that are ingrained into the world of sports, every one of these you will hear in a gym or a stadium. It's pretty wild. And then you talk about like the fanatics of the bands and the fanatics of the teams. Did you see a lot of the fanaticals for the music industry?
I can't particularly. I want to go back to your other question though, because you said songs that we think of automatically, and Two Unlimited's "Get Ready's," and that was part of the Jock Jams. As far as the fanatics in, because you very often will see, and I know everybody's seen this. You go to a concert and just everybody's able to sing along, and sometimes the band or whoever's playing does not even need to do anything. They just let the crowd do it, and it's phenomenal to be in that environment and be actually a member of the audience when that's happening. So yeah.
How about you?
There's a lot of artists that I see that could just go like another big song I was thinking of is Stevie Wonder, "Happy Birthday."
Oh yeah.
You hear that?
I feel like we got to get some music playing on this podcast.
Yeah.
Darn you, copyright.
So another big tie that I see with music and sports is the athletes. I think if you see any videos of pre-games, you always see people with headphones on.
Oh yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't think they're listening to our podcasts, but I think they're listening to, music, and most of them are using that music of the happy spot. What cues them back to a solid moment, not the negative stuff, the tough songs. It's those songs that basically makes them feel better, which then makes them play better.
Do you see that very often with your players, whether they're practicing or otherwise then?
I think even in practice, most of the time we'll try to have music that is, solid cueing for them for sure. And it does make a difference in performance. It's no different than like if we're all working in the studio and we've got music playing that we all can kind of catch a beat to and we like, our performance is going to go up versus it being dead silent.
You ever do like intro songs for your players as they step up to the plate?
We do. We in baseball, it's very common for the position players when they're walking up to the plate to have their walk-up song. So we let them choose those.
That's awesome.
But
That's
then sometimes if they do something wrong or whatever, then maybe we'll choose a song for them that they're, if you're happy and you know it or something,
Little ribbing.
something like that. Pitchers, they have entrances. The great closer for the Yankees, Mario Rivera.
Okay.
He his was Inner Sandman.
Oh, that's tough.
Like, yeah, you can definitely search some of this stuff, and you see how close music and sports parallel itself. It's just it's one of those things. And as I was kind of preparing for this a little bit, I remember my first memory with music and sports was I had a Walkman and some type of wired headphones, and I was listening to Bryan Adams' Summer of '69 before, I believe, middle school or high school
That's just a feel-good song right there.
basketball
It's a
game.
feel-good song. Yeah.
What's your, you guys got any like feel-good songs that you kind of go back to?
I know I do, and like as you throw that question at me, I know after we get done today, I'm gonna walk away going, "Oh, I should have mentioned that one."
Yeah.
There's and there's no way I could even quote the lyrics, but there's a song by the Eels called "Mr. Eels Blue." I wish I could actually sing the song, but there's some bad words in there, so I can't actually sing it. But it's Mr. E's Blues, and it's just kind of, it's one of those things you listen to it, and it's just the beat, everything about it. It just kind of makes you feel silly. So yeah.
Yeah, it's cheesy, but I don't know why. It just affects me. It's the Karate Kid ending song.
Oh
You're the best. You're the best.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
I am
No
a
one's gonna
huge
ever get
fan
you
of
down.
cheesy songs
Yeah.
like that. It's really cheesy. You know
Yeah.
this song, right?
I think so.
There's that, and there's it was Rick Derringer, I think, did Hulk Hogan had it for his theme song for a long time. Real American.
Real American.
Yeah. Super cheesy.
Another great example.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. But great to listen to and great to hype up. Yeah.
I think it's cool. Have you seen like the soccer chant songs that they do? Those are super cool. Like the whole stadium is like chanting this song. And the crowd's going crazy, then the team going crazy. Like, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I fully believe that music and sports are very much tied together. They're very much part of our culture. They bring people together that come from different areas and everything else. And sports does the same thing. And that's the beauty of music and the beauty of sports. And I think that the more you can find music that brings you to those happy places, the more you're going to find that your production levels, whether it's on the field or in the game of life, are going to increase. So you can use that as a leverage, as a cheat tool, or anything else to help you perform just a little bit better during that moment, during that day, during that game, or anything else. And it becomes a pretty powerful thing, and it's just understanding what brings you back to those good spots and using that as leverage. Anything else to add on the music and sports end?
You want to talk music? We can talk music all day. Stevie Wonder, anything.
Definitely.
Superstition.
I
a
wish.
solid one.
I wish is like a song like I Will that makes me
Yeah.
feel good all the time.
Yeah.
What about like middle school dance songs?
Middle school dance songs.
Purple Rain. It was Purple Rain for
Purple
me.
Rain.
It was Purple Rain for
Yo.
me. Yeah.
SWV, Weak in the Knees
Weak in the knees.
was a good slow
Oh
song.
yeah. That's a good tune.
that was a good one.
Yeah,
We used to sing it as boys and it'd be so funny.
solid. Well, I appreciate having you guys in the studio and being a part of this. Until next time, thank you to all of our listeners. We're all playing a game we can't win, so why not play it to the utmost? Go all in and go Stars. Coach Cut's Corner is recorded live in the WLNZ studios. Engineering and production assistance are provided by Daedalian Lowry. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, please share it and follow us on all the platforms of social media. You can find more about our program at lccstars.com, and donations to our baseball program can be made at the same site. See you next time.